like this, right like that, right here. Blood everywhere, all over the snow. Mark, what did you do that for? No closed fist face. That was open. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I sucker punched him right in the belly after that. Mark liked to tell stories, as everybody here knows. Mark loved to tell stories, but as long as they were stories about other people, it wasn't about him making a fool of himself. I did just hear about a story about him wrecking somebody's truck that I never heard about in my life. He would never tell anybody that story. Another story was when we were out in down at Raccoon State Creek. We used to camp out there right before the opening day of trout season. And if you knew Mark, you'd have to be the first one on site, no matter what. So we'd get up 3 hours before you're allowed to throw your lines in the water. And we were just hanging out by the lake there, pitch black dark. Mark got these new waders. So excited about these waders. He probably got them from a garage sale or something like that, or the garbage. But he was really excited. But up here, he's like, I can go pretty far in there. I can get closer than anybody else can to these fish. I'm like, why don't you test it out, Mark? It's so close you can get out there. Okay, it was pitch black out. You can't. There's probably more people there than there is in this area right here. Just a couple hundred people all the way around, but you can't see them. Takes one step in. He's like, this ain't so bad. One more step, all the way down, all the way down. All you can hear is about 200 people just roaring, laughing all the way around the creek. I had to grab my hand and rip them out. He had to take those things off and shake them out and dump them out. Well, there goes that idea, Mark. I guess that wasn't going to work out so well. Wasn't the next year later, same place, same time, still got there 3 hours early. Well, we're fishing all day. Fella comes around. How you guys doing? We're doing good. You know, sonar fishing and whatnot. He comes just bullcrapping with us. He says, oh, man, you should have been here. Last year there was a guy. But it was probably 5. I don't know what the guys were doing this early in the morning. He just fell right in there, kaplunked in there, and almost drowned himself to death. I'm like, really, what a dummy. Well, I could just, with every good story, there's a laugh with Mark. He was always there. Everybody here that knows Mark knows a good story and knows an even funnier story. He was always about making memories. That's what I was telling my boys. We come and we bullcrap and we talk about the good old times, but as we're doing it, we're making more memories for the next time we can sit around the fire and bullcrap. So Mark did love everybody. I'm seeing all these drivers, there's license plates out here from all these different states. He's everywhere, and everywhere he went, people loved him. So I miss him a lot.
Donnie, you want to come forward?
Hi everybody, like you said, I'm Donnie. I met Mark in, I want to say 2006, 2007, right when he graduated high school. We started working together at Dick's Sporting Goods, and as most of you know, Mark did not like to be inside at all, so that was a tough job for him. I remember at one point my boss told me, he was like, hey Donnie, you're going to have to tell Mark to tuck his shirt in. And I said, Jim, he's just going to quit. He's not tucking his shirt in. But that's the kind of guy Mark was. He was always confident. I love that about him. Josh touched on it a little bit earlier. One of the fond memories I have of him, and me and him spoke about it often, was trout camp again. So I want to say it was trout camp 2007. We were going to the same spot, Raccoon Creek, and Mark got there first before all of us, of course, like he always did, and he was going to reserve the campsite. So as I'm pulling in, he has his camp set up, which is just a sleeping bag on the ground, no tent. As I'm rounding the corner, I can see Mark has a big stick and he's sword fighting nobody. And he can't see me, and I just kind of sit there for a second. I roll my window down, and I can hear him screaming, sword fighting nobody. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be a fun time tonight. After that, again, through Mark, I met some other great friends, Josh and Matt. So I showed up, and then me and Mark, again, sword fought nobody. And then I don't know if anybody's seen Lord of the Rings, but Mark loved Lord of the Rings. And we had a Gandalf screaming contest. And there were other campers around, but too bad for them. And me and Mark just both screamed, "You shall not pass," as loud as we can, over and over again. And we both claimed victory. He said he won, I said I won. So you never know what happened with that one. But later on that night, Matt and Josh showed up. And by the time Matt and Josh showed up, which wasn't too far after I showed up, me and Mark had been drinking a little. So I really don't remember Matt and Josh showing up, but I do remember Matt and Josh became our babysitters instantly. One more thing about Mark, if I'm sure a lot of you know, is that Mark could get curmudgeon-y, was his word. So we were all just around the fire. What I can vaguely remember, we're all around the fire, and somebody else from another camp came up to our camp, and Mark did not like that. And Mark being my best friend, if he did not like that, I did not like that. So from what Josh and Matt tell us, is that we just yelled at this stranger constantly. I don't remember. Matt, as sweet as he is, was very, very nice to this person. I don't remember it. Apparently, one other way to get that person out of our camp was me and Mark started a mustard fight with each other. Also, later on that night, I was dating a girl at the time, and she called me, and Matt answered the phone. I don't know what conversation they had, but a little bit later on, that girl broke up with me. Later on that night, Mark staggered his direction, I staggered mine, and Matt and Josh, being the great friends that they are, brought us back to the camp. Mark was in his truck, put me next to the fire in somebody's sleeping bag. And when I woke up in the morning, I was wearing Mark's sweatshirt. He was wearing mine. And we were both just covered in mustard stains. And yet we still got up and still caught fish. It was still a great day. What? Oh, I remember we got up before everybody else. Yeah, we had to wake everybody up. And just without knowing Mark, I wouldn't know so many people here that I know, Joe and Ryan and Adam, everybody from Colorado, Caleb, Josh, Matt. I wouldn't know any of them without Mark. And that was one thing that I loved about him. He was a great friend, and we had a lot of great times together. So just in that one evening that we sword fought with sticks, had a Gandalf yelling competition, yelled at a stranger, had a mustard fight. I lost a girlfriend, and we woke up wearing each other's clothes. That was one of my best memories of Mark. I'll never forget you, buddy. I loved him very much. Thank you, everybody. And that's it. Thank you.
We have a couple more minutes if anybody else here would like to come up and share a story or a memory. Don't feel like you have to, but if anybody else would like to share, you're welcome to do that.